Tonight, it's 8 p.m. CT, 7 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we've got a very special show tonight on the KD Hearthstone Show. It is the Hearthstone players' first EU contributor showdown, facing off Giordy and Spot with commentary by me and Voltage. So here we go. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, let's go around one at a time. In the top left corner, we have Giordy.
Hi.
That's it, there you go. In the top right corner, we have Spock.
Hello everyone.
And in the bottom right corner, we have Spencer, also known as Voltage, who's going to be commentating with me on tonight's show. Right. And there's
What's up,
me.
guys?
And there's me, KD Hearthstone. So, Giordy, let's go around all of you one at a time first. Giordy, how did you get into Hearthstone?
Well, when I got into Hearthstone, I was a Magic the Gathering player. I was playing Magic and I really liked it, but I had to throw a lot of money into it. So when I saw Hearthstone, I really got into it. I mean, not at first because I was playing World of Warcraft, but then it really caught my attention, and I started playing, and it became a lot of fun. So I started buying packs, and I play it more seriously. So I got to Legend twice so far, and I'm about to get to Legend this season too. And yeah, I have been really enjoying the game, and I look forward to playing it more.
Yeah, and you published on Hearthstone Players, obviously, we all are.
Yeah.
So there's he's got some really great articles on there. They all do, so check them out on Hearthstone Players. And you're coming to us from Italy
Thanks.
tonight. Yep.
Yeah, I am.
And Spark, you're in France, if memory serves.
Yeah, you can hear that from my accent.
No. Tell us about your tell us about your Hearthstone experience.
Okay, so same here. I was playing Magic the Gathering with some friends, so it was a natural transition. And yeah, as soon as I started playing Hearthstone, I was really addicted and spent days on it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this game, and I made Legend like every season, I guess. And I often fight for top ranks, but it depends on my time.
And that's why those two are playing against each other and not me, because I have yet to make it to Legend.
Okay.
Same here.
What about, okay,
there's time.
Voltage. Yeah, there's plenty of time. So 3 of us will be playing Hearthstone tonight, but 1 of us will be playing Hearthstone. Alright, Voltage, what about you? How did you get into Hearthstone? Or Hearthstone?
I had actually never played WoW or anything, and one of my friends was playing Hearthstone, and I was like, what's that? You know, and my brother used to play Magic, so I knew kind of the concept. And then I just started playing and ended up falling in love with like the mage class, and you know, anytime that you can just throw a fireball at somebody, it's a good feeling. So I just got into it, and like I said, I haven't reached Legend yet, but I enjoy playing. I just actually created a deck and put it on the Hearthstone Players website if anyone wants to check it out. So it's just fun to get involved and just hang out, relax, and play something that's actually entertaining, and learn a little bit about all the lore from World of Warcraft as people are telling me, because I have no idea yet.
Absolutely.
But it's just fun.
From my point of view, I also have never played World of Warcraft. The last Blizzard game I played was Warcraft 3 in like 2002 or something. And I also come from a Magic background, so I was going to say, you know, if you guys are up for some mini-master afterwards, I have some unopened Journey into Nyx booster packs here. So, yeah, full swing. Okay, So, Giordy, you are playing Warlock, Mage, and Druid tonight. Why did you pick those classes?
Well, because those are like my strong classes. Those are the classes I have been laddering with lately, and so I think that they are the ones that I feel more comfortable with.
Sure.
I made Legend with Druid and Mage, so those are my two favorite heroes. And with Gul'dan, I have the most wins on ranked, so I think they are my strongest plays.
Fair enough. And what about you, Spark?
Okay, so
You're going with you're going with Paladin, Warrior, and Hunter.
yeah. So obviously, Hunter, I'm well known for that. I'm really comfortable with mid-range Hunter, so I decided to bring it. And for the Paladin, I chose it because it's very flexible. So as the format is kind of weird for me, I mean, I feel like I can play it against a wide variety of class.
Yep.
And the Warrior is, well, it's Warrior. I enjoy playing it, and I feel like a little show match is good for it.
Cool, absolutely. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, we are going to be playing the ESL format tonight, and I'm going to let Voltage explain that so I don't screw it up.
Alright. So the ESL format, basically you take 3 decks of your choosing, you pick a standard order that you're going to play them in. Like, say if I brought a Mage, a Hunter, and a Paladin, I would pick the order, and then I would start from there. After that, you have 2 more matches to decide the winner, depending on what the score is at that point. Or we could just play all 5 matches if everyone would like to. So that's basically the way that it goes.
Okay, so if you gentlemen would like to step into your zones and start the first match, we'll get cracking.
Okay.
Sure.
So should we unmute all things, mute all things, and go for it?
Yeah, mute your
Okay, right.
and right, my software is being slightly but it's not crashed. I don't think it's used to dealing with 4 webcams at once. There we go. So we're gonna be spectating. Yes.
Yep, Spark and Giordy.
Yep. Just waiting for them to start their match.
Yep.
So I can click spectate. So we're gonna be spectating Giordy at the bottom, and Spark will be at the top.
Okay. Just give me 1 second to pull it up. Having a little lag. Alright.
Yeah, it's lagging like hell over here too.
Okay, looks like we
We
got
are in.
Warlock versus Paladin. This should be a fun matchup. And it looks like Giordy is using a handlock, and Spark's over there using his mid-range Paladin. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup.
Handlock v mid-range Paladin could go either way.
Yeah, it could. It really could. That was a good play by Giordy there with the Dark Bomb. Got to take out that juggler, man. Okay, now Spark here, he only has a couple viable options. I mean, he could play, get his shielded mini-bot, muster for battle. He does have a quartermaster, I see, so he's definitely going to want to utilize that later. So we'll see how Giordy reacts to this. Okay, 2 Twilight Drakes. Doesn't look like a big game. Uh-huh.
When you play the Muster for Battle Quartermaster combo,
Yep.
do you worry about how many turns before Quartermaster you play the Muster for Battle? Because, you know, some of these, or maybe all of them, will get wiped out.
I mean, obviously, the dream is you have that set up at turn 8, where you can just play it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if you have a coin like Spark has right now, you don't really worry about it. But because you're playing Handlock and Shadow Flame is ever imminent, you might be worried about what's going to happen on this next turn.
And when you do use Quartermaster in general, I mean, how concerned are you about getting the value of having, you know, all 3 or at least 3 Silverhand recruits pumped? Is it okay to use it against 2 or even 1, depending on the situation?
Depending on the situation, I try to use at least 2 when I'm going for the combo, because anything less than that, it's a moot point to try to just buff up 1/1 for +2/+2. It's really not worth it.
Okay.
And that's exactly what...
And there we go. He's got the Shadow Flame out. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he'll probably throw out a Sludge Belcher, maybe a Zombie Chow. Oh, he does have the Bolvar. Okay.
Oh, he has Bolvar Feldragon.
Yeah, he does. He has the Bolvar, so it looks like he's going to play Bolvar, and that's good because it's not at 7 yet, so it cannot be shot down by the Big Game Hunter.
And I guess for those who are unfamiliar with the handlock, I should say that despite the fact that Spark's at 30 and Giordy's at 17, Giordy's in some way in the lead at the moment. So
yeah, it's looking that way for now. But yeah, especially with handlock, if you are not familiar, health really isn't your priority until you get down to about 10, because so many handlocks run Jiraxis, which can just come in and kind of give you a second life. And especially with the Molten Giants, being able to play a Molten Giant for free as a handlock and, you know, buff it up with either Sun Fury Protector or Defender of Argus. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, especially when you're playing defensively or when you just got to go for the kill the next turn. So anytime a Giant's out there, you gotta worry.
There has been talk lately about the value of Jiraxis in handlock since the GVG came out, whether to remove it and replace it with something, or whether to add Mal'Ganis, for example, and run both. What are your thoughts on that?
Jiraxis is hit or miss. You know, it depends the current meta that you're playing against. If you're playing against a lot of aggro decks, then sure, why not throw them in and just pick them off one by one with the weapon. But at the same time, you're playing against a lot of controls, you're playing against a lot of warrior type decks, and they're throwing out the, you know, Harrison Jones, or even the Acidic Swampoos. We've seen a little bit of those come back into play. I mean, you really got to worry about something like that when you have 8 durability on your weapon and can easily just lose it all, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, Harrison Jones v Jiraxis it was a classic tournament staple. I mean, back in like BlizzCon last year, and now it's appearing in ladder. So what do you do with Jiraxis if everyone's running Harrison Jones? Do you swap it for something?
I think Mal'Ganis is a good fit because, in my experience, when you're using a Void Caller and you have a Mal'Ganis and your demon deck doesn't have too many of the lower demons, I mean, the chances of that Void Caller getting destroyed and Mal'Ganis going straight into the game, that can be life-changing. You know what I mean?
I'm just going to defer to what's going on in the chat, because if you guys want to ask questions or stuff, feel free to put it in the chat. Mayan Paul says that he doesn't rate Warrior that much in the current meta. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, considering that my current rank is 15... my meta is completely different than probably what he's playing against. But what I've noticed at Warrior has died down some because of all the Zoo/aggro type decks, and mid-range has become so popular. I mean, the only real viable control type decks that I see currently would be, you know, Handlock, maybe a Warrior every once in a while, sometimes a control Paladin, and rarely a control Mage. So
Yeah, I was going to say, because Priest has dropped completely off the charts lately. Nobody's running that anymore.
I mean, they were so good too when GVG came out.
Yeah, I was using Control Priest.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, let's look at the board real quick. It looks like we have, like Katie was saying, you know, the Warlocks, they're not really worried about health because he just played those two giants 2 turns in a row, and he also has a Ragnaros out. So,
he also has Alex Strasser in his hand too.
Yeah.
If worst comes to the worst, although right now he could use that either way, given that
he could.
Still on 30.
Mm-hmm. Because he only has 1 minion to deal with right now. But that is a great play from Spark. Especially when your health is at 30 and you can manage to swing the hit, then you just take it, you know?
Just highlighting that for the viewers there. He threw out an equality against the 2 giants and Rag.
And I think that's a decent play because having minions on board against a handlock is always good. You know, and it just goes to show you that just having that 1 taunt up was enough with the equality to take out 3 minions.
High to the fallen remote. He was begging Spark not to attack.
Uh-huh. And here he uses Big Game Hunter, not for the battle shout, but just to go out there and get buffed up with the Sun Fury, which is also not a bad play. So the chances of Spark having a second equality in hand, not that good. So that was a really good play by Giordy there.
Yep. There's a general rule I learned as a noob just recently is, you know, if you've seen them play a card they're likely to have 2 of once, then you kind of stop worrying about it unless the deck's getting really thin.
Mm-hmm. See, and that was just super right there.
Yeah, that was a sick play.
He knew he had the Quartermaster. He knew he had enough to keep it going, so I think that was a great play. And yeah, we have the Alex Straza and the Dr. Boom. He might use... I mean, he could use Easer, honestly.
Oh, that wasn't a good top deck from Giordy there. Is he running Jiraxis?
I actually do not know if he's running Jiraxis in this deck. I did not get a chance to ask him. But that is a great play. Oh, wow. Wow. And this is why you can't count handlock out. Because of decisions like this.
Shadow Flame, yeah, that was a... I said Ancient Watcher was not a good top deck. I eat my words immediately, 1 tap afterwards.
Yeah. And then as long as he can throw out Alex Straza next turn, bump him up to 15, he might still have a shot in this match. So it's definitely going to be interesting. See what Spark top decks next turn.
Well, it's a top decking war, and with only Zombie Chow in Paladin's hand, oh my goodness.
Wow.
Because he would really want to Hellfire and Alex Straza himself now, but he doesn't have enough mana.
No, he does not.
Turn. It's far too dangerous. It's really dangerous. Yeah.
That's great, though.
That was my first round forgetting to switch whose turn it was. I was doing so well until then, and I got too involved in a match.
I know, it's tough sometimes. Oh, wow.
Oh, and now he's going to regret using Alex Straza on himself, but what else could he really do?
And you see that Harrison Jones in that Paladin deck. I mean, if he is running Jiraxis, it's what we were just talking about. So we'll see if he does.
It's worth pointing out to the viewers that these are ladder decks because the ESL format promotes the use of ladder decks since you can reuse decks in the last 2 games.
Wow.
So that means he's running it in ladder.
And Antique Healbot is going to do a lot of work right here.
It sure is. Is he trying to decide? Yeah, okay.
I think he might. I'm not sure what he's going to do here.
I'm wondering whether he...
And he goes
gonna
for
help?
it. Wow. I guess at this point you just need to get the tempo back up and you need to take control, but wow. I mean, that was a huge draw for Spark.
That's how you know they're top level players because against most opponents this game would have been over a couple of turns ago at least.
Yeah, it would have, but I mean,
Giordy pulled it out of the bag.
2 turns ago, Giordy was about to just go to face and go to town, and look at what's happened. I mean, just that one little card equality changed the whole momentum, and then Giordy grabbing that Shadow Flame really backfired and switched it to a different level. I mean, it's just great to see the caliber of these players.
And from Spark just having Zombie Chow in his hand one turn ago, he's now got more options than he knows what to do with, I think.
Yep.
Unfortunately, most of them are not good plays right now.
No. He's kind of up in the air. It looks like he's really spending time.
As a noob, I would probably play a True Silver Champion here.
Yeah.
And it looks like, yeah, he is doing. Okay.
You got to.
Go.
There's really not many other threats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, he top decks another card draw. If he wants to.
He'll probably take.
Yeah, I mean, normally you don't Mortal Coil.
Well, for the card draw,
but in this situation,
oh wow!
Yeah, in this situation,
I did not know that he ran 2 big game hunters. That's not a bad decision, though. And we were just talking about before this this series kicked off. We were talking about how awesome Dr. Boom has been, especially in constructed.
Yep.
Because I mean, just the boom bots alone can cost you the game.
Absolutely, you get wrecked by those a lot in constructed if you don't deal with them effectively. One thing though that's good for Paladin, of course, is you can produce those silver hand recruits and kind of dissipate the damage from the boom bots with a certain confidence.
Same with Unleash the Hounds and
yeah, absolutely.
The Hunter deck. Yep.
Spark's taking his time on this one.
Oh yeah.
Look at the concentration in his face.
Oh, I know. He's searching deep for this. Giordy looks happy.
Oh, his comeback has been absolutely epic. I mean, if Giordy wins this, it will be spectacular.
And we were joking before the match, you know, Giordy's talking to Spark saying, "Go easy on me."
Not gonna happen.
Wow. Look at those zombie chows just taunting him. That is great.
Oh my god. He's only used one Shadow Flame so far, right?
No, he did use both.
Oh, he's used both. Okay.
Yeah, because he used the second one on the Ancient Watcher. Oh,
the RNG!
He needed that. Alright, so now this is the biggest question, as always, with Handlock. Well, I guess that answered that question. Do you life tap? When your opponent has 28, do you life tap? I mean, now that with the 2 zombie chows, I believe you do. But when you're at
2 cards
7,
in hand
anything
and
below
7
10
damage
health,
available.
it gets kind of questionable in the late turns. And there we have the answer to the famous question, does he run Jiraxis?
Yes, he does.
And if you do notice, Spark does have a Harrison Jones. Wow.
This is gonna be, oh my goodness.
Oh, somebody's getting pissed off after this match. I'll tell you.
The first match absolutely delivered. I'm sure we're going to be asking them about this round more than any other. I'm guessing in a post-match interview.
Oh, this is just great. But Spark is running out of steam, but as soon as that Jiraxis goes down, the whole thing's going to change. No!
No, Spark, why? No, don't do that.
Oh, wow. Wow, I did not see that coming. I guess he just wanted the board control, but look at this. He's got Jiraxis. He's facing a possible 12 damage from Spark on the next turn. So I think he's thinking very carefully. Do I throw down a giant so he tries to deal with it? Or what's going to happen? Little does he know that he has an equality, and that might end the game right there. So he's got to do something. Jiraxis might be his only option, honestly.
I don't see what else he can do because
he's
nothing
facing
else.
lethal. He has no other option. Wow.
I feel really sorry for Spark right now for using his Harrison Jones. I mean,
I know.
Do you think he overextended a bit there? Because I mean, he's on 23 and his opponent was on 11. I don't know why he needed to play that, to be honest.
I think he did, but you know, when the cards get that low, you have to make decisions. Wow. That is just That Harrison Jones attacking that Jiraxis. That is just funny.
I've got a message from a question from the chat. Would you run Dr. Boom if he cost 8 mana instead of 7, or would you prefer a Rag?
That is a really good question. Yes, I think I would. Even if he cost 8, I think I would still run him because the boom bots have saved my ass so many times. That's just my opinion, though. Wow. Oh! And that is the game. Well done, Spark. What a comeback.
What a match.
That was incredible. And poor Jiraxis looks sad.
My viewers will know I'm not often speechless, but that was an incredible match. It really was. I don't have words for that.
I still can't believe that. That was... wow.
My automated tracker has just registered that game as a defeat for me. So I'm gonna have to delete that later. It thinks that I was playing the match. We'll just wait for them to start the second match. Let's just say hi to the peeps in the chat room. Astacon, Mystic7, Bacon 1567, Chaos Bager, Margin Ball, Smash Things, The Fallen Remote, Mage Guy 24, and I can see there's a whole bunch of anonymous viewers watching, so good evening to all of you. Feel free to come in, say hi, put your questions to the pros. It's Giordy and Spark from Hearthstone Players, along with my colleague here, Voltage, commentating, and myself, Katie Hearthstone. We're all on HearthstonePlayers.com. Go check it out. They have some amazing articles.
Okay, it looks like the second match is about to begin. The first match was wow.
Warrior.
Whew. I still can't get over that. That was back and forth, back and forth. Okay, this will be an interesting matchup. It looks like Giordy's going to start with a Snow Chugger. Especially against Warrior, that's such a clutch play. So.
Yeah, it'll just be Fiery Wind Axe, you would assume.
Mm-hmm.
And indeed, I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Let me ask you a question here as a sort of new player. I mean, whenever I play against Warrior and Ladder, I always assume that, whatever I do, they're going to Fiery Wind Axe turn 2.
Yeah.
What do you do if you have a bunch of, 2-3s and 3-2s and various stuff in your hand? Do you play one and accept the loss? Do you hero power? What do you do?
Depending on the type of deck you're playing with. I mean, if you have 2 that are smaller and are going to get crushed by the Fiery War Axe, throw out the one that you least like first. And that way, he might not attack for the second one, or you might get the opportune time to throw in, like, say, a Clockwork Gnome, like a 1-cost minion, as well as another 2-cost. So, I mean, you really can't do much about it, though.
And if you're on the coin, should you not use the coin in that case to play out the 2-drop? Should you do nothing? I mean, on turn 1, if you're on the coin.
If you have the coin, I would do nothing.
Okay.
Because if he's gonna drop it on turn 2, you have to deal with it then. Sometimes I'll wait until he attacks for face with the Fiery War Axe, because that way I know only one of my next minions is gonna get killed by it.
Sure. We've got some more questions coming in.
Yeah.
Smash Thing says he thought the play of Harrison Jones was fine because Spark needed the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And Bacon 1567 asks, it's funny because we talked about this just before the show, but we'll go through it again. Bacon asks, Cairn or Piloted Sky Golem?
See, that is a good question. Piloted Sky Golem is so great because it is a 6/4 with the Death Rattle, but I mean, then you have to reflect on how good are the 4-cost minions. Because most of the time when I play that 6/4 and throw it out there, I'm not getting what I want versus Cairn. Cairn is always going to have the same effect. You know, yeah, he gets silenced, but it's still a little bit more expensive of a Chillwind Yeti. You know, he still has that board presence that has to be dealt with at some point. So I would go Cairn.
When we talked earlier before the show, we were talking about the update to the crafting
Yeah.
guide that I'd written, and you know, I said I was taking Cairn, you know, out of the priority list, and you said, I believe, because Sludge Belcher makes Cairn so much less of value in general anyway.
That's true. Sludge Belcher does present a greater threat than Cairn, but Cairn can be consistent depending on the type of deck you use. If I was using a mech-heavy deck and I needed the synergy, then yeah, I might go with the piloted Sky Golem. But in my personal experience, Cairn is always a good pick.
And a related question was asked by Paul. I think, what do you think of Sneed's Old Shredder in Mech Mage decks?
Mech Mage.
Is it too slow was basically the theme of the question.
It can be. Same with if you're trying to run like a Jeeves in a mech-based deck. I mean, the chances of you getting it when you need it are so slim. And, I mean, Sneed's Old Shredder, it's good. It's something to be dealt with. But, you know, if it pops and you just get stuck with, you know, a crappy legendary, then I kind of feel like it was a wasted turn. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something. It depends on the what you're going for in the Mech Mage, because there's so many different types. If you're doing more of like a control Mech Mage, that might work, but because Mech Mage has become so aggro based, I don't think that Sneed's Old Shredder is really a good fit.
I would tend to agree with you. I mean, when GVG first came out, Sneed's Old Shredder was what everyone was running. You know, there was all this talk about, oh, you know, you get a free legendary from it. But the fact of the matter is that most legendaries suck. And even with and when you take away the battle cry as well, then even more of them suck. There's only a few that are actually really worth popping from it.
That's true.
Like Kel'Thuzad.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Kel'Thuzad is great. I'm surprised he isn't used more, but, I mean, you always have the issue when you're trying to play something when you need to play it, and 8 mana is just a lot to put out.
I was going to say, the problem I have with Kel'Thuzad is that you never get chance to play it, because when you're on turn 8, you nearly always want to do something else instead.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the time you get to play it, you've lost your minions anyway.
Yeah. I mean, he was really good before GVG came out. He was in a lot of, you know, like Shaman would have the Resurrection type decks and stuff.
Okay, Sparks come out with the rag. I mean, I've only been playing it ladder since October, but I didn't really see Kel'Thuzad used too much. Even before GVG, but then there were not many Shamans on ladder at the time that I started playing.
I mean, a lot of it, I mean, the potential that it has is great, but the practicality of it just isn't good enough to be used.
Right, yeah, I think if it cost 7 or something, it would make a whole world of difference.
Well, yeah. The mana cost sometimes is just what ruins it. Because a lot of people might not understand, especially newer players, but if you're not keeping tempo and your curve is not, and let me explain what I mean by the curve. Like if you have, let's look at Giordy's hand. He has a Flame Strike, a Spider Tank, and an Arcane Intellect, costing 7, 2, and 3. The 2 and 3, that's a good curve, because he's on 2 mana, his next turn will be 3, so he'll probably play the Arcane Intellect, and then he'll be able to play the Spider Tank next turn, or vice versa. You know, that's a good mana curve. But if we look up at what Spark has, he has the Execute, the Armor Smith, the Shield Block, and the Sludge Belcher, which is even greater. So, you just got to make sure that when you're playing, you have a play, whether you know you're going to pass the next turn, and that's your play, you need to know that you're going to have a play as you're progressing through the cards. And sometimes carrying the bigger minions doesn't give you that opportunity. And it looks like... Are we having trouble with the match?
Yeah, my theme the match is working, but my Windows just decided to change the classic theme, so I'm fixing it now.
Okay.
Heh, I don't have enough Windows space for everything, that's the problem. Oh, goodness.
I wonder.
That's my computer crying that it's, you know, out of memory and what have you. Alright, well, Spark takes it down, 2-0.
That was a really good match as well.
Yeah, my PC is very much crying under the weight of everything going on, so I'm doing my best to keep it going.
Yeah, my computer just had a problem. I missed a couple minutes of the end of that match. Yeah, I should be fine now.
You know what, guys? We'll go to a 3-minute break, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, I didn't even see the last 5 minutes of that last match.
Right, we are back, and yes, the technology is working as anticipated, which is to say, it's not working very well. But we're doing our best. So the next match is going to be momentarily starting.
All
Well,
right.
it is starting.
Druid
So
for Giordy versus Sparks, world famous Hunter. This is going to be a great match. And Spark is up 2-0.
Protect the wild. My greeting. Bring out your dead.
Okay, looks like Giordy's off to a good start with the coin and an innervate. Always good to have opening up.
Engaging TC-130 into this
Okay.
locator.
Playing that mind control tech to deal with that buffed up Undertaker. And here's the buff. Okay, now we have a couple decisions to make by Giordy. Wild growth. Okay, it's a good play. Oh, Death Rattle City over there, Spark. Wow. Well, you got one of each. With, did you just make this deck, Spark? Saying anything with Death Rattle will fit. This is a great deck, though. Wow. I just want to comment on Leok. Because, you know, I don't know if it was maybe 3 or 4 months ago, a lot of people were complaining about Leok not being a very good card for an animal companion for a hunter. But I think we've seen a lot of change in that, especially with how aggro Hunter has been played. And it does it. It gives that. I mean, you got 5 minions on board. That's 5 more attack just from one 3-cost minion. So, I mean that can be game changing towards the end of it. And Giordy plays out the Sludge Belcher. You know, get a little defense going. Spark's turn. Looks like he's gonna get a secret going. That is indeed a snake trap. And
yeah, we should let that be clear to the people watching, because as always with these tournament formats, they cannot see when the player at the top has a secret, because the cards cover the question marks. So I didn't actually see that until you said it.
Yep, that is indeed a snake trap. So, okay, looks like he's gonna coin out either an Ancient of War or an Ancient of Lore. Looks like he's going for card draw. Maybe. Yep.
I would have gone for card draw there, I think. I mean, not too much
nice.
stress, one card for the hunter. And,
yeah, that is a really good setup for his next turn. I mean, he's got a combo he can play, or he can play just the Ancient of Watcher or the Ancient of Lore, so either way, not a bad play. And now we have the decision. Okay, it looks like he's just going to slowly chisel away at that Sludge Belcher. Okay, he got himself another Haunted Creeper, as well as King of Beasts. That's not something you see very often.
No,
so that's kind of cool. And King of Beasts, what it is, it starts out as 2/6, and for each gain 1 attack for each other beast that you have, especially with how heavy. Oh wow!
And it's a taunt minion for those who are not familiar with it and can't read the text.
Sorry, I was watching Giordy recycle that that Savannah back into the deck.
Did he just play Recycle?
Oh yeah, he played Recycle.
I'm surprised he has Recycle instead.
I'm speechless with that Recycle. That's why I stopped talking for a second, because I can't even believe that just was played.
I was flipping the highlight of whose turn it was, and I missed it. And when you said he recycled it into his deck, I was like, no, nobody plays recycle.
Yeah, he literally played recycle. Yep. Wow. That changes things. That recycle just changed things. And that
Wow,
Houndmaster. I'm telling you, that Houndmaster has been such a great card. Especially when you're playing mid-range hunter. I mean, who cares if the if the Houndmaster dies? You got a buffed up minion with taunt. And especially your minion's got a death rattle. I mean, that's just great. That's a great play. And it looks like he is waiting to attack because he does not know what that secret is. And he does not want a 5/5 going back if it's freezing. I don't really think he's worried about explosive trap, but I think he might be worried about a freezing trap. And we know that it is a snake trap, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Wow.
Well, he's got to do something.
He's going to have to.
He can't just sit there. He's got to take that taunt out.
You can put up as many taunts as you want, but somebody's going to have to make a play here.
Yep. It's like a showdown at the OK Corral. They're just sitting there biding their time. Who's gonna blink first here?
Yeah. I might take it out with my 4/6 taunt because it's still yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would have done too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That's okay.
I don't think he's gonna be too sad about that though.
No, that was the better play. Now what's he gonna do with this?
He just needs to go find Hellfire from his handlock
Yeah,
deck now,
right.
and everything will be good.
Hellfire or a Shadow Flame?
Has he used any swipes yet while I've been trying to keep the stream
He
alive?
used one swipe, but that's it. So he still does have another swipe.
We assume. But then, we didn't think he had recycle, so hey.
That's true. Maybe he swapped out a swipe for a recycle.
That would be shocking. That would be even more shocking than just running recycle if he did that.
Uh-huh.
Of all the things to take out of the Druid deck.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's not a bad pickup for Spark. And considering he has 2 beasts out there right now, because both of the snakes do count as beasts, it looks like he's going to play the King of Beasts and put a 4/6 minion out there. With
I thought the
taunt.
Sludge Belcher was a great pickup, actually, given the other side of the board.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like he's going to deal with these things. Oh, wow. And Sylvanas, look at that. Look at that!
Oh, my goodness.
That is a beautiful play right there.
Great play. Great
Yeah, we were
play.
talking before this match, and Sylvanas, she is great. She gets you out of some sticky situations, let me tell you. And that
I'm assuming the Hunter's gonna win here. Sorry, I'm assuming the Druid's gonna win here, but nevertheless,
You
he's
never
putting up
know.
a strong fight. Yeah.
Wow. Does he drop both Sludge Belchers?
Oh!
I submit that he does.
He will. He so
Oh,
will. There we
yeah.
go.
Deal with that, Druid, is what Spark's saying. Wow.
Oh, he's got a couple of turns to pull something out of the bag now.
Yeah,
from his
he
deck.
does. Okay, and he's just gonna sit there, get rid of the, the snake. So, okay.
Smash Things says that he should have made the Engine of War 10-5.
A 10-5?
10.
Yep.
Yeah.
That wouldn't
That's
have
his
been
argument.
a bad option. But I mean, it's still wow. And like I was saying, Black Knight is still in business. Black
Absolutely.
Knight, man. Black Knight is
Talked
just
about
on
it before we went on air.
Yeah, wow. See, that's the problem with hunters, though. You run out of
Yeah,
steam too early.
he's out of steam now. Leper Gnome not gonna help him at all.
No. Unless he can duplicate that leper gnome 8 times, I don't think anything's gonna happen here. And there's that second swipe.
Doesn't really need it now,
No,
but
he does not, but it
at
is
least
fun.
he didn't
It's
take it
good
out
to
for
know.
recycle.
The question has been answered.
Well, I don't think it would have been very nice of Spark to have a 3-0 walk over here, so
Yeah.
At least it's balanced out a little bit now as
Yeah,
we
that's nice. It's nice.
heading into the next games.
Yeah. Hey, look, Kelp is on.
Yep.
He's just gonna
He
hunt.
actually got to
He's
use
gonna hero power for the next 8 turns and hope that the druid decides not to attack.
No, he's not gonna bother.
Or he'll do that. That was great. Oh, that was a good match.
So it's 2. Excuse me. It's 2-1 now to the Spark, and now they will go into the situation where they can reuse the decks as they see fit for the final 2 matches.
Any deck from the 3 that they brought, they can use. So it's going to be interesting to see how the 4th and 5th matchup are.
I don't know about you, but I would love to see Handlock v Paladin again.
Oh, I know. I
should
would
tell
love to
them.
see
We should
Harrison
tell them on
Jones
Skype
actually
to
being
play.
used.
So we're just waiting for the 4th match to begin.
Yep. Oh, Luna. Come here. Come here. I'll scratch you. Okay, it looks like the 4th match is
Now underway.
Lila. Oh wow. Lila. Druid versus Paladin.
Alright, can we get all you guys to, besides Spencer muting the mic?
Fight with honor.
Come here, I'll scratch your head.
And off we go. So it's going to be Druid v Paladin.
Follow the rules.
Aldor's Descension Shieldmaster. I do not share Spencer's amazing commentary skills. I'm busy sorting out the technical aspects, but I'm sure he'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
He's
I'm
muted
back.
himself while issues of dog have been
Yes,
dealt with, I
yes.
believe.
Okay, so, yep, that was a great play with the Aldor Peacekeeper into Senjin, because Senjin has just been such a great card all along, honestly. And it looks like he's just going to shapeshift and go for face, maybe? Yeah, nothing else really happening, so that's good.
There's too much noise going on behind you, Voltage.
Yep,
You have to just mute for a while, I think.
yeah, that's fine.
So lots of options on both sides at the moment. Paladin's putting down the Sludge Belcher. No downside to him losing the Zombie Chow at the moment, of course, because Druid on full health. It's kind of an awkward board for both sides at the moment. Well, it's okay for Paladin now, but it was awkward that time. Well, now it's awkward once again. There's nothing much either of them can do immediately to break through. Two Sludge Belchers on one on the other. Everything has Death Rattle. No board wipe will actually wipe the board. Just gonna have to scrape away at it piece by piece. Use it. It's a perfect opportunity to get rid of the Zombie Chow there with no downside.
Reporting for duty.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Less noisy?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
And you've joined us with Giordy put out a second Sludge Belcher.
Okay.
Spark removed one of them, and he has just top decked Ancient of Law, if my eyes serve me correctly.
Okay. Yep.
It's been an awkward board.
Yeah, it's an awkward matchup. Okay, we'll take the card draw. That's not a bad move. Okay, and the shielded minibot to finish off that Sludge Belcher. And it looks like he might... Nope, still deciding.
We're on turn 7 here. There's been no progress since turn 5, really. Just a messy board, bits and pieces cleared, bits and pieces added. Nothing really happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's just messy, scrappy little battle so far.
Okay.
Alright, that changes things up a little bit.
Yep. Yes, it does. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's a good way to build a solid board there.
Paladin has roared in front that turn, but...
Uh-huh.
And, of course, his Bolvar is just outside the range of the BGH that Giordy just top decked, so he's safe.
I mean, you got Keeper and Swipe, maybe, but I don't see any other really viable options. You could recycle Bolvar back into the deck, but that still leaves you with 4 minions to deal with, so...
I don't think I would use the recycle here.
No, I wouldn't. Okay. Mind control tech, I didn't even see that. I mean,
no, I didn't.
no-
I didn't notice he had that either.
no, nothing exciting. You think he might silence the Bolvar?
I think we did what was just called a throwdown and artosis, where we completely missed the contents of the guy's hand.
Yes, completely missed a very important card. Yeah, that was definitely pulling an Artosis right there.
Not that I have anything against them. I actually
No.
find Artosis quite attractive, and I'm very sad he hasn't been commentating anything lately, but I'll just keep that to ourselves and the viewers.
Yep. Okay. So, Spark looks like he's going to do a little cleanup here. You know, get rid of that Keeper. Build up a little bit more deck. And you do see that Spark does have 2 Musters, a Lay on Hands, and an Equality. So, all good cards for instantly building back up. I mean, I'm still shocked that they're already at turn 9, turn 8.
I know, I mean,
and 27 and 25
12.
health? Really?
I know, it's incredible.
It really is.
Like I said, that's why they're playing and we're not.
Exactly. I have no problem commentating. If it means
I
that I
think
don't
my,
have the pressure of playing, that's fine. Wow.
I'm thinking my viewers, the regulars who are tuning in watching this, must be thinking, well, Katie's playing unusually well today. What's going on here?
Don't pay attention to the names on the side.
So if you've just tuned in, this is the HearthstonePlayers.com Contributor Showdown, the first week in EU. Giordy versus Spark with Spencer or Voltage and myself, Katie Hearthstone, commentating. We are on match 4 of this ESL format game. Spark, well, I was going to say trash Giordy, but that would be the overstatement of the century. Inched his way to 2-0.
That's better.
Yeah, and Giordy's pulled one back, and the mid-range Paladin from Spark is having a second outing. It was amazing in the first match, and it's been amazing in this match.
I mean, just exactly what Spark was saying at the beginning. Oh, this is gonna be fun. But
I don't think he's going to be worried about playing his Harrison Jones too early this time.
no, I really don't think so. But what Spark was saying at the beginning of this, you know, he was saying how flexible the mid-range Paladin has been, because you can deal with all kinds of threats. You can get that instant board build up with, you know, Muster and then the Quartermaster. And if his Bolvar wasn't, you know, silenced, it would have done some major damage. But that's the one thing I love about Druids, you know. Druids, they have that ability to go directly up against what you're throwing at them.
Yeah, Druid it's not, or the way I was taught it as a noob is, it's not brilliant against anything, but it's not terrible against anything either.
Yeah. It's like the in-between deck. It's good for
And that's,
everything,
I suppose,
it's not bad against anything.
Right, and I suppose that's why so many people start
Mhm.
with it when they're playing in tournaments.
It is. It's a great starter. If you want to get involved and want to start playing a deck, Druid's a great one to start with.
Should ask you something about Druid, because when I built the clone, Kalento used the same Druid deck in many, many tournaments last year. And I finally, about a month and a half ago, got enough dust to make a copy of it myself.
Yeah.
And I was talking with one very high up Legend player, and he preferred replacing the Echoing Oozes with Zombie Chows. Now, I don't know anything about it, so what do you think about Echoing Ooze versus Zombie Chow in that classic Druid deck?
Zombie Chow is a great card because if you want something to be dealt with early, it's easy to just throw it out there and let them do whatever they want. Later on, it's not as effective because you don't want to be giving people health that late. Whereas Echoing Ooze, it's consistently just two things that you have to deal with every single time, and it can be easily buffed up. I mean, say you were making like a starter ramp type druid, you know, I mean, just something as simple as Mark of the Wild, and then you have 2, 3, 4s that you have to deal with taunt.
Sure.
So Echoing Ooze with the whole Force of Nature Savage Roar combo would be a better bet for me because I believe that they have the consistency to last longer. But you know, the zombie's not a bad choice either, so I could see.
So basically, for the combo, you prefer Echoing Ooze, just in
Yes.
case you need that extra few points of damage from one of them at the end to
Yeah,
finish them
because
off.
3 points of damage can win or lose games.
Absolutely.
So I would prefer Echoing Ooze, but I don't see Zombie Chow as being a bad alternative if you wanted to try it. Because it'll give you 2 more attack because each Zombie Chow is 2 versus 1.
At the time that change was suggested to me, I mean, I did not really understand the utility. Or, I mean, I understood Zombie Chow, but I did not understand the utility of Echoing Ooze in the deck because I was a new player. So it's interesting to hear your take on it there.
Yeah.
Reporting for duty.
Okay.
Anyway, Dr. Boom has just come out.
Yeah. Well, and Big Game
unsurprisingly.
Hunter has just been drawn.
Whoops, bad timing again from Spot. His timing has been pretty bad with his Paladin deck,
It has,
even though he won.
even though he won. But I mean,
And he's probably going to win again.
Yeah, just look at the Druid. 9 health for a Druid at turn. Who
Turn
knows
a
what
million.
Turn 400,000 right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, he's got the heal bot. Okay.
Yes, he does have the heal bot, so it looks like he's back in the game. And then that's Sylvanas we were talking about. Sylvanas is just such a great card because it does have that death rattle. And not a lot of people worrying about silencing it. They just worry about going around it. So
Well, now Spark's top deck Big Game Hunter, but no utility for it.
no.
And he's not going to have any utility
No.
for it when, what is that? Is that Kel'Thuzad?
Yeah, that is
Barely see
Kel'Thuzad.
it. Yeah.
But he
He's not
only
gonna have
has
any
the 6
utility then
attacks.
either.
So.
Exactly. That was what I was originally planning to say, and then wasn't quite sure if it actually was
Yep.
Kel'Thuzad.
It is indeed. And depends what he gets on the top deck, but Druid of the Claw is probably going to be his next move, or swipe, considering he just mustered. Oh,
Whoa. Oh, he's gonna have to put that in taunt mode, I guess.
yeah. What to do?
I have, just scrolling through the chat, huge amount of Hearthstone discussion about MCT, Ancient of War. Let's do a shout out to Lights Out Ace who's tuned in.
Oh, awesome.
Nick Faultline asks, why didn't he attack Sylvanas on Black Knight, swipe face, and get Dr. Boom?
I mean, I can't answer that, but for me personally, I mean, you're not sure what's going to come in your hand the next turn because you might have needed that swipe.
Well, there you go. I'm not even going to attempt to answer. I'm just going to take your 2-all. No, 3-1.
3-1.
I have. There you go. The
No,
overlay was
2-all.
bound to.
That was Giordy. Oh, no, that was Spark. Wow.
Giordy conceded or lost,
Yes.
so it's 3-1. I knew the overlay would get screwed up eventually. There's still one game to go.
Yes, there is.
So let's see if Giordy can at least level it up 3-2. I'm sure he can. He's amazing.
He has
Last
the
game,
potential.
guys.
It's all in the deck. That's what I tell.
I want to see handlock. It's Mage versus Hunter.
This is going to be a good matchup, though. I'm telling you.
You asked for
I have a good feeling about this. I think it's going to go. Ooh! Double Snow Chugger for the start.
Chugga.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Chugga.
And then Clockwork Gnome.
Greetings, traveler.
Great start.
I have to resist from making the sound because when I stream, I always make that sound when I play the card. So I gotta just be slightly less unprofessional tonight.
Okay. And
So,
there's that Undertaker.
well, he's plumped for not using the coin and playing Mad Scientist instead.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he not play Undertaker and then coin out Mad Scientist there?
Because he knew that Giordy would just take it out. He'd
With the
rather-
Snow Chugger?
Yeah, with the Snow Chugger and the Fireball. So. Okay, that's not bad. I don't think he's really worried about his Snow Chugger costing 4 because it's definitely going to see use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if an Eagle Horn Bow comes out. See,
Yeah,
if
you're not
he-
worried about that's it. That's something that you're happy for Freezing Trap to go. Oh, he has Toshly in the deck.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. I didn't see that in the first match, but yeah,
No, me neither.
Toshly is great.
Oh, that makes things interesting. It's fascinating to see, these top level Legend players. We're all talking about standard handlock decks, standard, mech mage decks, standard hunter decks, and here they come. They're playing, Recycle. They're playing Toshly. Playing Harrison Jones, and which I know is becoming more favored, but you're not seeing it all the time just yet. But yeah, they're just playing these cards that we're not expecting them to come out with, and they're changing the games.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see the changes because ever so slight, it can make all the difference.
Indeed. Okay, so he's just played a trap. Which trap was that, Voltage?
That would be a snake trap.
Okay.
So we know he has one freezing, one snake. I don't know what other traps he might be running. Maybe a second snake or a second freezing? I'm not sure. But yeah, see, I told you that second Snow Chugger would get out there. Somehow, some way. And, oh, there's the Golden Eagle Horn Bow. Okay. Not quite too... Oh, Goblin Blast Mage. Maybe Frostbolt, Goblin Blast Mage. Not sure what he's going to do yet. I don't think you really want to do double Frostbolt. Okay, Toshly. Ooh, and throwing out a taunt. Wow. 2 Eagle Horn Bows sitting up there now.
Mm-hmm.
No, Woo! Dr. Boom. This card has just been everywhere this series.
It's everywhere, everywhere.
And Polymorph? Question mark?
So,
Flame Strike?
you're gonna polymorph Boom, I assume, if you're gonna polymorph something.
Are you gonna Polymorph Boom, or are you gonna Flame Strike and see how the Boom bots react? I don't know what to do.
I think the mage answered it correctly there.
Huh?
It's the first time I've seen him slow down for a while.
Yeah, Giordy's been like, go, 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 go. Okay. That's not a
This
bad
is an
play.
interesting play.
Yeah, it is. But like we were just saying, you know, they're gonna play differently than most people would expect. You know, because there's always the way that the professionals and, you know, the avid players will tell you how to play a deck, but there's really no specific way. You just play it however you like to play it.
Play it the way that gives you the most wins.
Mm-hmm.
Paul says, well, I'm sorry, Lights Out it wants to have a little rant at Giordy and say, read Giordy's article, Spark likes to run one of each trap, there's no need to play around freezing.
Okay. Maybe he just doesn't want to give the beast ability, you know, with the beast combo with the kill command. Maybe he's worried about that. That's always something you gotta look into, but
that's usually what I'm paranoid about when I play Hunter. It's like, don't let them have any beasts on the board, especially if your life is at a certain threshold.
I mean, kill command, Houndmaster. I mean, a 3/3 taunt is a 3/3 taunt, no matter how you look at it. So
yeah,
it looks like he's gonna clear that. And that's perfect. Yeah, it'll give him another durability on the weapon, but Flame Strike is going to come in pretty handy right here.
Yeah, it's going to be a maximum possible value. Yeah. And he knows it with the emote there. Of course.
I mean, one of the first things I ever learned about Flame Strike was, unless there's 3 minions on the board, there's really no reason to use it. At least 3 minions to take out.
I would say maybe except in Arena,
Yeah.
depending on the circumstances.
Arena, you use it when it's turn 7. No matter what they play after, you use it on turn 7.
So that's, from a top tip, your advice there on my show tonight is if your opponent has an empty board and you're playing Mage and it's turn 7, always use the Flame Strike.
Yes, always use the Flame Strike. No, only in Arena.
On Arena, with your opponent having an empty board, as long as it's turn 7, it's still okay to use Flame Strike.
Yeah, it's Arena, so it's definitely okay.
Nobody will judge you guys. Nobody will judge you.
No, it's perfectly fine. I actually encourage it. So, see, I'm just worried that Spark's gonna pick up an anti-Flame Strike to go against.
What's your anti-Flame Strike card, Hunter?
There is none. I mean, Explosive Trap. That's the only multi-shot.
What would you do here? Because I mean, he's gonna assume he's gonna attack Toshli with the weapon, right?
I would assume.
Or is he gonna kill command?
Okay.
No, kill command's the
You
Yeti.
then take out the Yeti with the kill command. Yeah. Wow, he is just trying to get durability. Oh wow, and we see Tinkertown Technician is probably gonna come into play here. Either that or maybe Spider Tank.
Just for the viewers, Hunter does have a secret on board at the moment, which you can't see on the stream.
See, I might even Frostbolt. Frostbolt the hero. Okay. Okay. I don't oppose that, so... I would love to see Gazlowe pop out in this deck for Giordy. That would just make my life complete.
Bacon says that his technique regarding Flame Strike on an empty board in Arena is to strike fear into the heart of your opponent and make him concede, and apparently that tactic works well for him.
Exactly. That's exactly why I said it. I'm glad someone understands.
if you've drafted one of these in Arena, you've drafted at least 4.
Yep.
It's fascinating to see that, you know, we're many turns into this game, and yet Hunter still has a hand full of stuff.
Yeah.
He's not out of steam at all, even though his board is empty. He's got so much stuff.
Well, because especially with Spark's deck, he does have that control type feel to it, to where it's not just aggro or bust, you know.
Yep.
So I mean, it looks like he's running out of steam a little bit, but he has Ragnaros. You know, he has potential to do something, but I don't think
you
it,
don't want to play that yet because it's
Yeah.
going to be so diffuse the effect and immediately removed. So
Or-
oh, he did play
I
it.
guess he does play it. Maybe he's trying to strike fear into him.
Yeah, make Giordy concede with the fear of Ragnaros. Okay.
Wow. Look at all those whirling blades. You go, Giordy.
Here's a mad whirling blade value there.
Yeah, he's got +3 attack, guys. I mean, come on.
I just want to point out a little stats thing, since I am a technical person, that there are 7 spare parts. So he had a 1 in 7 chance of getting each one, which means the chance of getting all 3 of them is 1 in about 350.
Okay.
7 times 7 times 7.
You lost me at
What?
7 times 7.
That's 49. So 50 times 7 is 350. So yeah, the odds are very low.
Oh, look, a time rewinder. There you go. Change it up a little bit. Thanks, Giordy.
Well, the chance of
Man.
him getting 4 would have been 1 in 2,000. So he's not that lucky.
Nope. Okay, it looks like Spark's wishing he had a Flame Strike right now.
No kidding.
And it's not even like he has a another beast to buff up that King of Beasts, so...
The only thing he can really do here is use his weapon and play King of Beasts, as far as I can see.
Yeah, I don't see much other option. But, you know, that hero power adds up, and if you're not paying attention, sometimes it'll get to you. Okay, looks like he's throwing out his Death Rattles and his Taunt. Which isn't a bad option going against this stuff, but...
Oh, he's got to take risks now.
Yeah.
At this point, I wonder if he. I'm sure he does, but I mean, I wonder if he remembers that his opponent has 3 spare parts in his hand.
Yeah, because those could be anything.
Well, if he doesn't remember that it's precisely 3, then he could be fearing other stuff that's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, he does have his Flame Strike there, so.
Yeah. I think he might do Flame Strike just to get the edge back. Yeah, and that's what he does. Oh yeah, Armor Smith. I don't really think that's gonna help too much, Spark. Okay, and keeping that second Tinkertown Technician at max health.
Yeah, there will be no Execute to go along with the Armor Smith on this one.
I think, yeah, I think Giordy's actually holding on to those. Never mind. I was gonna say.
To try and, like, confuse him, make him
Yeah.
wonder what's in his hand, yeah.
And now he's just kind of like showing him, okay, this is what I got. So
I would expect a player at Spark's level to remember that he had 3 spare parts, to be honest.
okay, so there is lethal on the board. There's a kill command that can take out one of they, but I don't know. I don't think there's much else he can do here. He can attack face, he can hero power, but he doesn't even have enough memento to, you know, keep anything going after this. Looks like that might be the match.
Oh yeah, he's just basically sort of acknowledging defeat there.
Playing all his cards.
Yeah.
That was a great match, though. Oh, and Sneak Shred.
Very,
See?
and in the end, it was. Oh, there it is. And in the end, it was surprisingly close, actually.
Yeah. It
I mean,
really
one
was.
more turn, Hunter would have won.
Yep. But
And there you have it.
Definitely a great match. Great series.
3-2, which was, you know, exactly what we would have hoped for, basically.
Yeah.
As close as it could possibly have been.
Exactly.
Fantastic series of matches.
Again-
We're going to go straight into interviews with these guys now, so let's just flip that over so we can see you all. Just a second. There we go. So, I'm going to let Voltage take the majority of this, but from my part, Giordy, Spark, the first match, Handlock versus Paladin. Spark, how terrible did you feel on the very turn after you played Harrison Jones when Giordy came out with Jiraxis? Tell me how you felt then.
At first I felt bad, but I realized that I had like 8 cards in my deck, remaining.
Mhm.
So you know, drawing that many cards wasn't really necessary, and
Yeah.
finally I
Right,
got my
yeah.
consecration in the last 7 cards or something like that. So I needed that one. But yeah, that
Giordy,
was
were you
insane.
laughing your ass off when you saw Harrison Jones come out?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think that since I had used Alexstrasza, he didn't think I had a Jiraxus. Well, I ran both.
I didn't think you had a
Right.
Jiraxis.
No, we
Yeah.
were debating it on the stream whether you actually were playing it
Yeah,
or not.
I
most
actually
people
think,
don't. That's
think
that's
he
why I
had.
played two.
Mhm.
That's why I played two. But anyway, he had lethal anyway, so it was GG. But it was fun. It was definitely a
Mhm.
fun game. All of them were
And
actually. I had a lot of fun
Reese,
playing with Spark. He's a great
Yeah.
it
buddy.
was a absolutely great series. What about recycle in your druid deck? What was that about?
Oh,
Yeah, can we
that's
touch
meant
on
to
that?
counter. That's
That
meant
was
to
great.
counter drops like Savannah Highmane,
Yeah.
Sylvana,
He's just won the
Styrian.
game.
Uh,
Really
yeah,
great. We were not expecting that
No.
at all.
yeah.
Me
Everybody
neither.
thinks it's a shitty card, but it actually has a lot of potential. It's
It
not good to
does.
run 2 copies of it in your deck, but
No.
having one can win you games really.
Is this where I admit that I disenchanted it?
Oh,
It wasn't
oh,
golden,
you
was
shouldn't
it?
have.
I could get another one. Spencer, why don't you
Okay.
give him an inquisition?
But yeah, it's
The first.
basically.
No, go
Sorry,
ahead.
sorry.
No,
No,
go
it's
ahead.
basically similar to Polymorph. It shuffles
Yeah.
the minion in the deck, and you don't know when you see it again. So it's a huge tempo swing. It costs 6 mana, so it's kind of expensive, but still, I think it's worth running one.
Have you ever recycled and then the same card popped up the next draw?
I think so, but still, it's a huge swing because he
Yeah.
has to play it again, so he has to spend all
Mhm.
that mana again to play
Yeah.
it. So
Well,
it's still worth it.
especially with the card like Savannah Highmane, because that's 6 attack that they don't automatically get that next turn. So that was a
that's
great
really
play.
hurtful. Yeah, that's really hurtful.
Yeah, I really think that was the turning point of the game.
Yeah.
Because after that, I pretty much run out of steam, and yeah, dealing with
Well,
my Savannah is like the best thing to do, and recycle is great for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then on your second run round with the druid, we were like, okay, we're waiting for the recycle, and then Toshli appears, or on the mage.
on the mage,
Yeah.
yeah, when Tosh.
On the
yeah,
mage.
yeah, Toshli was on the mage.
Yeah, and
'cause it's a
that we
mech
didn't
mage.
see that the first one round.
No,
Yeah.
it's a mid-range mage I built. I'm actually using it on ladder with. No, it's very successful. I never ran out of steam with that because it has 2 arcane intellects
Yeah.
and 2 azure drakes. So
cool.
Do you run
cards never ran.
do you run Antonidas in there, because you have a lot of spare
yeah.
parts? Yeah, okay,
Yeah, that's what all
that
the
makes
spare parts are
a
for.
lot of sense.
Yeah,
In
I
the last
figured it was
games-
either going to be Gaslow or Antonidas.
Yeah,
I tried Gaslow earlier, but it didn't really work out well because
Right.
it's not as useful as Antonidas. So I
Its
just
engine isn't
Antonidas
big enough
is-
to keep it going.
yeah, and its body
No.
is weak too. A
Yeah, the
3/6, not that
3/6.
great. Yeah.
So you run Toshli on ladder, and of course you knew that Spark would be playing Hunter because it's his speciality
do.
class.
Yeah,
But do you run recycle on ladder, or did you just put that in against him?
I do run it on ladder too. It's great against Sylvana, against Savannah
I
Highmane,
can imagine.
against Ancient of War too. I mean,
Yeah.
Were both of you running all decks that you use purely on ladder, or did you make anything special for tonight, or were they
no,
ladder decks?
I just they're all ladder decks, at least mine. And I think
yeah.
Spark,
What about
For
you,
me,
Spark?
it's the same. I use those deck on ladder, and I think I take a brawl in my warrior deck yesterday just to be sure, in case I face anything special. But yeah, that was it.
But guys, that was an absolutely great series. You got any last questions, Voltage?
I'm still trying to get over that first match. Because you talk
it
about
was
turning
insanely
points. There was like 25 turning points every turn.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
turn, it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
that's-
flip-flopping back and
That
forth.
was what Warlock is meant for. Return when
Well,
you're about to lose. So that was
Because
fun.
we're over here commentating. I was like, and talking to like the newer players, saying you can't count hand lock out even if it only has 7 health, and then you throw
Yep.
out the antique heal bot, and then, and then you get the second shadow flame with the antique watcher, or ancient keeper, and
Yeah.
just
Honestly, Handlock's comeback was so good in that match,
Yeah,
and I
I-
was kind of rooting for Handlock to win, but the Paladin deck was really interesting as well.
It's
The whole,
really good.
I
Spark's
mean,
Paladin deck is really, really good.
Yeah,
like
I
it.
know. I'm about to
I
steal
use this
it,
one
the
on
ladder.
ladder a lot, and
Ah.
and it's pretty flexible. It can win pretty much anything. If
Yeah.
it's the new Druid, I guess. It's
Yeah,
the,
Yeah, it's
well,
everywhere.
guys, thank you so much for coming on. This was extremely fun. I know the guys in the chat room have been smack talking about Hearthstone and the plays that you guys have been doing all night.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'll just finish by basically saying what we said earlier in the commentary, especially with regards to that first match, and that's why they're legend and we're not.
Exactly.
Basically. Fantastic games, guys.
Great
Thanks
job,
for coming
guys.
on. I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing something like
Thank
this
you.
again, because it was
Yeah,
too much
thank
fun to
you.
only do it once.
Yeah, it was a lot of
So-
fun for us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any final words, Giordy?
Oh, I just want to say thank you to you for making this happen, to Spark, because he's just great. He's a great player, great buddy,
Thank you.
great decks. I mean, he's really, really good. And thank you all, guys, who write for the same website. So thank you all for contributing to this experience. It's been great. I have been enjoying it, and I look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, Spark, what about you?
Yeah, pretty
Any
much
last
the
words?
same here. It was really a lot of fun, and the match were pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
thank you for organizing that, and thanks Jordy for playing against me. I know he was a bit stressed before the match, but that was really great, honestly. And I enjoyed it. And
Well,
thank
now
you.
we've done it once. I think it will be much easier to do it again because we know exactly what to do. next time.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's a good learning experience for all 4 of us, I think.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to check out their articles on HearthstonePlayers.com and sign up for premium membership. There's some really, really great content on there. And just for the record, I do not get paid for any subscriptions they get, so I'm saying that from the heart. It's not
Yeah.
shameless advertising. What is shameless advertising is to say follow my stream if you enjoyed it, because we are going to be doing more of these matchups and tournaments with commentary and stuff. And the schedules for my shows at kthearthstone.com. But other than that, follow the Twitch stream, check out hearthstoneplayers.com, Giordy, Sparks, Spencer, and from the 3 of us and myself, Katie Hearthstone, wish you a very good night. The VODs will be online in a few minutes' time.
Good night.
Good night.